Yeah, coming out to parents isn't always the easiest process. You must know that.
Yeah, it was actually kind of easy for me.
Well, you know,
I'm one of the lucky ones.
yeah. So in a way, I'm kind of lucky one. My parents didn't take it very well. But my mother-in-law, on the other hand, when we were getting further along my transition, Laura was having trouble trying to relate to me as her husband, so she started calling me her spouse. And usually for most married couples, talking about your spouse in a very general term means that the relationship isn't really going that well and you're probably leading to separation or a divorce.
Really?
And so her mom was starting getting worried that this is like, oh my God, they're separating, because it's like, you know, Laura's getting, Laura's getting more and more vague about, you know.
Mary knows how much I like Emmy.
You know, she's not using any terms of endearment that a wife would use towards a spouse. And so finally says, you know, we got to tell your mom. You know, it's just like, we can tell that she's bothered by this, we got to tell her. So it's just like, you know, next time we spoke to her on Skype, I said, well, you're probably aware that there's some changes that are going on, or you're probably thinking, you know, catching on that there's some changes going on. She's like, yeah. I said, well, the big change, the big thing is that's changing is me. And she's like, what do you mean it's you? I said, well, I'm looking at changing my gender. I'm transgender. I want to live as a woman now. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So, you know, the transition is going to be starting soon. I'm going to start taking hormones. She's like, oh, so that's it? I'm like, what do you mean, is that it? Well, you're still staying together, right? You know, I'm like, yeah. It's like, you know, Laura and I are still staying together. She's like, you're not getting a divorce. No, we're not getting a divorce. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, this is like, you know, I'm like, okay. I said, well, you know, you've always kind of done your own thing anyway, so it's just like, this is just the next thing. So, you know, it's like what she was worried about wasn't so much my transition, was the fact that whether we were going to stay together and you know, be
family.
She was worried that I was going to leave Laura with the kids alone, you know, 3 provinces away.
And she's been disseminating the information through the rest of her side of our family, and none of them have expressed any problems with it either. In fact, when some of them found out that we're here and less than an hour away, they'd asked if they could come visit, but I said no, not today, because of just what this event is. And I mean, you all don't know my family, so it wouldn't be appropriate for them to come here. Even though they're comfortable with who we all are, you might not be comfortable with these strangers who you aren't familiar with. I mean, we already need to get to know each other right now. That's enough.
Anyway, Jennifer McCreath, you knew I'd sneak into this video somehow, of course.
We love you too much for you not to.
Seriously, this is yet another part to this wonderful story of acceptance and pursuing a life dream, and it's nice to see that there are families out there that are able to manage this and, what's the word? Do well. Flourish, is that right? Yeah, flourish. Vocab 101. Flourish. Seriously, it is just great to hear this stuff, because you don't hear enough of it. You hear about all the problems and challenges, and there are challenges, but they can be overcome. So let this be a lesson to everyone out there watching. Absolutely. I'm glad you finished that, because I didn't really know what I was going to say there. Yeah. By the way, we're here as a group. We're celebrating Transgender Weekend celebration in New Brunswick, Canada. We've got people from all over the country here, as far away as Newfoundland. We've got. Do we have any actual Quebecers here? Yes, a born Quebecer has come all the way here to New Brunswick to celebrate.
Not come home to celebrate.
Yes. It's just nice to see an event like this happening in Eastern Canada, because let's face it, we're a little bit behind the times here, perhaps even more so in Newfoundland, but we're changing. When you're 30 minutes ahead, you have never a reason to catch up. But in terms of, by the way, say hello to the lovely ladies over there, wearing P-Flag and Montreal Canadiens t-shirts now. How did that happen? Hockey season is still going on, I think, but there's a game. Monday's the next game, then Wednesday.
Vancouver won?
They're up 3-2, right?
They need to win one more.
One more.
One more.
See, you know it's Canada when it's June 11th and you're talking about hockey at a transgender camping event. / pansexual camping event.
Yes.
But
Girl Guide camp.
here we are.
There were some guys fishing in the river, and all of the girl guys ran over to them. Did Sidney Crosby's team win?
But you don't have to live in a big city to transition and be accepted. I left Toronto and moved to Newfoundland, for heaven's sakes, to transition. Not because that was the plan. It just happens. Life happens, you know. And it's sort of working. There's been some bumps in the road, but I'm doing fairly well. MA over there is doing fairly well in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Not necessarily the world hotbed for transsexualism, but she's making it work there. Somewhere over there we had a transsexual using a chainsaw who's making it work in rural New Brunswick. She's a little ditzy, but she's a nice girl.
We love her.
Poor Josie.
We lost the serious mien of this one.
All these serious videos, and this is still YouTubeable. There's nothing really inappropriate in there. YouTube doesn't care really unless someone reports it. I might report my own videos because some of them are kind of crappy. But the fact that you're still watching
You just
this,
take them down if you really think they're that bad.
no,
I like it.
it's good though because you could flag yourself, yes, and this is what it's all about.
Trouble liking it, and in the end,
We're here to have fun as well as talk some serious business, and it's all good.
These are the ones for Renee.
What we got going on over here? Oh. You and those long, hard objects, I'm telling you, honey.
I'm getting the glow sticks ready for
now I know why that relationship continues to flourish.
She missed the actual
this one there.
conversation about it. She missed the whole thing. Yeah, we actually had that conversation while you were gone.
Which conversation might... Well, actually, let's turn the video off before we get into that one. Thank you very much for watching.